So hi everyone, thanks for joining. As James mentioned, my name is Laura Webb, and this is a presentation about how you can use PowerPoint to help in the design of Power Apps. So it's just a few tips and tricks. The the agenda of this will be a quick introduction from me, why I'm suggesting to use PowerPoint for designing Power Apps, how you can do it, and then a little glimpse of what I've been talking about, and then just some summary and time questions at the end. So, a bit about me. I have recently become an associate Microsoft 365 consultant at FSP. My other bits and pieces is that I'm an artist and a designer. I also consider myself to be a bit of a storyteller and an event journalist. I'm also the founder of the Tech Trump Cards initiative, which you may or may not have heard of across the community. I love everything Microsoft, accessibility, equality, inclusion, Canvas apps, I adore. PowerPoint, I adore, obviously. Digital design, improving processes and user experiences, networking, and raising up other people. I also enjoy dancing, drawing, designing movies and music. Not designing music and movies, but designing, comma, movies and music. So moving on. Um, why am I suggesting that you use PowerPoint to design Power Apps? So it's included in the Microsoft stack. You've also got online and offline access, although the offline will be fairly more limited than the on. Sorry, yeah. Um, for both of them, actually, there's limitations, but you can still use them in both situations. There's a lot of familiarity with PowerPoint. We all know that there's like a similar format and design across all the Microsoft products, so it's not going to be that difficult to understand how to navigate around it if you're already using some of the other Microsoft products like Word and Excel. There's also it's become very apparent to me that there's only a small percentage of the tools in PowerPoint used currently. Everybody knows it as the presentation tool, which it is, but there's also a lot of other things that you can use it for, and that's what I'm hoping to show you guys today. So the ways that I've found that you can use PowerPoint for Power Up Design is you can use it for the documentation for projects and for the solution. You can use it for quick POCs, quick wireframes. You can design SVGs in PowerPoint, and you can also do little recorded snippets just for like demos to sort of pass on some information that you're trying to convey if you can't have a meeting, that type of thing. So these are only some of the ways that I found. There's quite a bit more that I haven't found, and also some things that I just haven't been able to put into this presentation. But we'll hopefully do another one at another time that extends the tips and tricks. A little glimpse of the goods. First off, the documentation that I mentioned. So the ways in which I feel you could probably use PowerPoint for documentation is the well-known FDDs and guides and ERDs that we have to produce for projects, statements of work, manuals, policies, those type of things. Um, the reason that I say you can use PowerPoint for these is I know that a lot of people only know about the generic landscape um, sort of orientation for PowerPoint, and that's probably not appropriate for documentation a lot of the time, but you can actually change the orientation and the size of the slides. So you can have it as an A4 portrait slide, as it were, which you can then turn into your document. So the way you would do that is by going into the design tab and then slide size, and then you can input the custom slide size within that to whatever you need. You've also got the ability to have collaboration within PowerPoint. So a lot of you that are familiar with Microsoft products now and platforms, when you're able to collaborate in a particular platform, you generally have sight of who's in that platform at the same time, or that file. So it's usually in the top right hand corner. You get the initials or the profile picture of whoever's using that file at the same time. So you can use PowerPoint for that. You have to save the PowerPoint as a PPTX file. I came up with that challenge a short while ago when me and a colleague were trying to figure out why we couldn't collaborate in the same file, and it was because we had it as a PPTM file, which was, yeah, it was. So I briefly went through and tried to figure out all the ones that you needed to have it saved for, and PPTX was the main one. You can also add comments when you're collaborating in a file, so that you can share your feedback and come up with ideas, and the other person will be able to see them and act upon them or send responses. You've also got you can also use PowerPoint to create like a workshop type environment. You also can't have infinity canvas type situation because it can't provide that. Actually, the larger you go with a slide size, the slower PowerPoint gets, and it starts to sort of get to the point of crashing. So, but you can do it. You can enlarge it, and you can collaborate with other people, and move around ideas, add notes, and stuff like that. So that's my sort of suggestion ideas for documentation. Proof of concepts. So I've used PowerPoint or I've been in a call with the project team, and we're talking through ideas, and I came up with an idea, but I couldn't quite explain it verbally properly, just on its own. So I quickly went into PowerPoint and built, and it's this one in the middle. This is a quick example. I quickly put together just a visual of what I was talking about, and then shared that with the project team. So you can do that with PowerPoint. Um, this only took me 5 minutes whilst other people were talking. I quickly went away and did that, and then showed them. It didn't go anywhere, but at least they knew what I was talking about after then. You can also use PowerPoint for mood boards. So I've used it to put together some inspiration and colors and patterns and designs to then be able to use for app design later on. You can also use the shapes in PowerPoint to add what look like post-it notes for the workshops that I mentioned earlier. Um, this is um, this is always a good thing. You can use any of the shapes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to look like a post-it note. But this is just an example of what you can do. And you can also use smart art, I think it's called, where you can add diagrams to PowerPoint slides. So um, you can do like process flows. You can do uh, there's a whole range of them that you can do. You can do lists, you can do yeah, process flows, you can do organizational diagrams and structure and all of that sort of stuff. So that's all really good for PowerPoint if you just need to quickly mock up something like that. And then I also found that you have the ability to use grids in PowerPoint to be able to design your POC. So it's not as great as say Figma grids and columns and stuff, but it's still quite handy. You go into the tab that has the ruler grid lines and guide along the top, and then if you click on this little arrow in the show next to the show title, then it comes up with some settings that you can do for grids, having like snap objects to grids, and you can say how many columns and rows you want and all of that sort of stuff, just to help you sort of design. So I found that really helpful. Then wireframes. So it's similar to POCs anyway, but on the left here, you can see a little clip of how I have used PowerPoint with links and triggers and animations to show navigation through an app. The example is a dating app here, which is obviously not what you would produce in a business situation, but it's just showing how you can show how buttons would work and then navigate to other screens. I also created a toggle situation there, and then showing tabs. It basically just takes you to another slide, but it looks like another screen or the other showing of a tab and stuff like that. So that's quite good. The triggers and animation are quite complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's really helpful. And also I've just showed here how you can create the wireframes, the lo-fi and hi-fi wireframes to just show the type of solution that you're looking to build. And here I've also shown how you can use the designs you put into PowerPoint to then upload to the Maker portal for Power Apps. and then it creates a very basic like base layer for you to design on. So these top three images I uploaded into the Maker portal, and then these bottom three are what you could produce as just a base level, and then work upon that. So that's all quite good. Does it needs? I think that that functionality needs work. Obviously, I think anyone who's tried it would know that, but it's still it still can be helpful. So SVGs, this is usually everyone's favorite part of this presentation. So I have put in a little bit more information and to show how it can be done, just with a few little clips. So you will see those. But in PowerPoint, I was completely blown away by the fact that you can create SVG illustrations, fonts, and icons and buttons to use in your apps. I even considered using them for like SharePoint sites and stuff like that, just to make it look a little bit more customized. Hello? Did someone say something? No? Okay. So yeah, the next few slides are going to be me showing you how you can do this. So this little clip will be going on in the background as I'm talking, but you can the out of the box um, icons that you've got in PowerPoint, you can customize those. So you would know just generally how to change the color of those maybe, and then use them. But you can actually, if you turn the icon into a shape, which is what I am showing in this clip, you can then change the color of different parts of the icon if you like, or you can use gradients, or you can add the different formatting to those, like adding shadows or like the 3D effects, or you can remove and add parts to the icon, or you can change different shapes in the icon. So that, as I'm just showing here in the clip, I've taken a little landscape icon and I changed the different colors and different shapes in it to just be how I want it. And then you can highlight all of that and then save it as a SVG and then use that in your application if you like. I'll just let the clip go through before I move on. I don't know why the background of the button was like a big thing for me to change. I just I went through a bunch of different colors for some reason. I couldn't make up my mind. Okay, we'll just just ignore that part. Come on, Laura. Then I highlight it all, right click, save as picture. And then if you change the file type to be scalable vector graphics, which is a SVG, save it. You can then save it as that, and then I put it back into this slide so that you can see. But you can then use that as your as an illustration in your Canvas app if you like, or any of the other platforms that allow you to use illustrations and icons. So yeah, that's the SVG. So I'll just move on now. So custom shapes. You can create your own shapes from the stuff that's in like the out of the box stuff that's in PowerPoint. Sorry, I've got a little clip here of how I, not vainly, but I do like to play around with self portraits being an eye. So I thought I would try and use PowerPoint to do that, and it worked out quite interestingly. So I basically used the out of the box shapes and created new shapes to be able to build my face, as it were. So here I've also got an example of an image I created of some flowers, and I basically used these two shapes and then overlapped them, and then I went to the shape format, merge shapes, and then clicked on union, which you can see here. I think if you've ever used Figma, they're called Boolean selection or something like that. It's very similar, very similar, but it works slightly differently. Yeah, and then I made the general leaf shape when I merged them, and then you've got a bit where you can go into the shape format, edit shape, and then edit points. So if you've ever done any vector design or anything, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you go into that, and then it has like various points around the shape that you can then manipulate to make it show, to make it how you want it. So basically, I am showing here that like with two circles, what you need to do is overlap the circles, which Laura will do in a second, So when you're having, say, just to make a crescent moon is I think what I'm doing in this one. Yeah, you overlap them, and then you, for this, I selected the underneath first and then the top one after. So they're both selected at the same time. And then you go to the shape format at the top. Oh, this is actually annoying me, sorry. Here you go. Show you a live situation. So say I'm doing that leaf, you would do it this way. So with the union one, you can just select either, and then you're basically going into shape format, merge shapes, which is over here. And then you've got the union makes it one shape. The subtract has taken one layer from the other. Intersect shows the overlap. Fragment makes it so that you can, so you've got the three shapes as they're overlapping. And then combine, I never really know what it is that's actually doing. But what it's done is it's sort of merged the two edges and got rid of the one in the middle. I don't really I don't really understand what that is, but that's what it does. And then you've got the union one again that has, it merges them two together. I think what I do always get confused with, and you just have to have a play with it, is which order you do stuff in. So if you if I want to remove the top layer from the bottom layer, I think select the bottom one first, the top one second. Yeah, and then do subtract, and it's taken away the top layer from the bottom layer. If I was to do the top layer and then the bottom layer, yeah, it's done it the other way around. So it's taken the bottom from the top, which is it's probably a little bit confusing. But if you hover over these, you can see what's going to happen. So that kind of helps. Okay, sorry about all that playing around there. I will just carry on now with my presentation. So you've got fonts as well, so you can create SVG fonts. It's the same concept. So if you, in this clip, you can see that I've inputted some large text, and then I put it over the SVG image. And then you do the same thing with the merge shapes. Here, it's good to either do intersect or fragment, and then it will leave you with, so the fragments obviously left you with all of it, and I'm pulling out all the text that's separated itself from the image. Or you can do intersect, which will remove the image and leave you with the text, which is always a really nice thing to do. And then you can save those as SVGs and then add them to your application. Just let the rest of this clip go. Shows you the intersect, yeah, and then you can save that as the SVG and then put that in your app. Last of the SVGs, you've got buttons. A lot of you may know about how you can format different things in PowerPoint or any of the Microsoft products, but here I just wanted to give you a quick overview of some of the things you can do. You can, if you get a shape and then an icon, lay the icon upon the shape, and then you've got your baseline for a button that you might want to use in your app. And then if you go into, if you click on either the backgrounds or the shape, or you could highlight both, and then find the shape format or the graphics format tab, and then this little arrow here underneath sort of shape effects or graphics effects, whichever one you clicked on. This will then open up a side panel on the right hand side where you can go through all the different formatting options. So you can add a shadow, like a drop shadow behind the button if you like. You can make it more 3D. You can add a glow. You can change the color. You can add a gradient. You can add a texture or a pattern on image in the background. You can create like more of a line button, which is what I sort of trying to present here, I suppose. So I've taken away the fill of the backgrounds, and then you've just got the line and the icon. You can add the different textures, and so here I've got like what looks like a wooden button. There's so many things you can do, and then again save it as an SVG and then use it in your application. So the last bit that I wanted to just mention is how you can record demo snippets. So all the snippets that you see in here are done through PowerPoint. You can't record the snippets in the PowerPoint that you're in that you want the snippet to go into. So when you click record, what is it? It's like screen record or something. It sort of minimizes the one that you're in. So it's always good if you want to do something in another PowerPoint or any other like screen browser or whatever. It will then record what you're doing elsewhere. So that then, as soon as it stopped recording, goes straight into your PowerPoint, and then you can play around with the video clip. I've got rounded corners and shadow on this. You can make it loop over and over. You can make it start straight away. There's loads of things you can do. And the reason that I think this is helpful is if you can't get a meeting in with the rest of your project team. I've had it a bunch of times where I've not been able to get everyone in together. So I've then recorded what I've done, the progress I've made, and then I've sent the clip to them, and then they give me feedback. So it's quite a good way of sort of moving things along when you can't all get together. You've also got the ability to do screenshots and add audio clips in the same sort of manner. So this is always really helpful, I think, for projects. And again, once you get familiar with it, it's really easy. So the last little bit, I didn't mention this before, this is an extra that I've realized is that the add-ins that you can have in the Microsoft products are really helpful. It takes some going through and sort of figuring out which ones are great, which ones you like using, which ones are helpful, which ones are free, which ones are not free. But I went through and had a look at some of the keywords that are quite good for maybe something that you might want to do for a project. So these are just some of the keywords. If you put in collaborate, workshop, AI, there's like a chat GPT add-in. I don't know how good it is. I don't know how good any of them are, but I know that some of them are really good and they might just be a helpful addition to your PowerPoint platform. You've got ERD, that sometimes brings up, say, Lucid Chart, which I don't know if any of you have used, but that's quite a good platform to use for creating diagrams and sort of displaying data models and stuff like that. So that's a good thing that you can add to your PowerPoint. If you put in feedback or diagrams, note-taking, document, icons or charts, there's loads of different add-ins that you can use for PowerPoint that will help you with your projects. So it's just something that you might want to have a look at. So to summarize, these are some of the different things that I've been through: wireframes, animations, working together, mood boards, formatting, wireframes, POCs, not wireframes again, documentation, custom shapes, recording, icons, SVGs, add-ins, brainstorming. Those are the type of things that you can do in PowerPoint and are quite fun if you are anything like me and you love messing around with that type of thing. So yeah, my suggestion would be to get cracking and have a look, see if any of it can be really helpful for your project work. So that's it. Are there any questions?
You did manage to go a bit quicker then.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I have no idea what the time, like how much time I've.
No worries. Well, you've got another 20 minutes. I can only offer my apologies again for I completely forgot that because it's normally the 4th Thursday of the month. And this isn't. This is second or third, whatever it is. So there's a question from Fernando. I don't know if you've seen that come in then. He's asking if do you have any demo at hand to show us for PowerPoint Copilot?
No, I don't. I did have a look. I'm not able to get access to it or anything yet. But when I am, I will definitely have a look and do a demo for that, and then share that on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment it's just all talk. At the moment, it's all talk.
Actually, there's a reaction I need to put up, which is for you. Did that just come up on screen? Should have done.
Yeah.
Clapping hands. Because Laura just got a new job, so congratulations.
I did. Yeah, thank you.
Maybe a new company will have access to Copilot.
Maybe. Yeah, that'll be one of my first questions, I reckon, when we get in there. But how much time it takes you to modify an SVG? Well, it's hard to say really. I'll get lost in it because I love it. But depends on it depends on what type of thing you're looking for and what type of thing you're sort of modifying, I suppose. But once you get into the hang of it, I think you'll have like something in your mind as to what you want, and then you'll just know where to go to do it. If it's something that's quite complicated or needs to be perfect, my sort of OCD kicks in, and then it might take me a bit longer. But generally, I think once you get into the habit of formatting different things, and using the shapes and the different icons, knowing which icons are out there, and also the add-ins. There are some icon add-ins, and also images. There are sort of free image add-ins as well that you can use. So all the exploring of it first will take some time as well. But yeah, I can't really say. I don't really know. I'm not sure I've ever really timed myself. But I think once you get into the mode of practicing, and you know what's there, and you sort of know what you want, then it shouldn't take too long at all.
Yeah, so it was a difficult question, isn't it? It's the especially when you've been doing something for a while, because like, well, it takes me about 20 minutes, but how long did it take me the first time? So I can't remember. It took years ago, so I can't remember how long it took.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when I was doing that portrait one, there was a lot of fiddling and stuff around because I didn't really know what I was doing, and
yeah,
stuff like that. It took forever. But now I could probably create a very big that SVG that I showed you in the clip, that took me a few minutes. But then, yeah, as I said, I sort of been doing this for a little while now, so um, it's sort of I can do it quite easily. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Fernando. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Um, yeah, I've got bits and pieces on my website. I haven't had a lot of time lately to really get into it properly, but if you want to have a look on my website, a lot of the stuff that I've created on my website is actually done in PowerPoint, including the tech trump cards, sort of images, and the actual cards themselves, and um, a lot of the design stuff that's in there, or the icons that I've used in there, are my own. So yeah, if you want to have a look at that, you can. You should be able to get to the link from my LinkedIn page. But yeah, are there any more questions?
well, what I'll do, if just give people time to think of some questions, I'm going to do the random number generation.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you have currently got 3 attendees plus yourself. So
Mhm.
I've done it. You should be seeing my screen right now.
Yeah.
Yep, so nice Google random number generator. If you didn't know this is available, it is. It's really cool. So between 1 and 4, and I'm going to click generate, and it is 1, which is actually you, Laura. So you've won the you've won the £50 Amazon gift voucher.
God, I
So
feel a bit mad, but thank you. I really
fair play.
appreciate it.
No, it's fine. It's for all attendees, and you are an attendee as well as a talker. So congratulations.
Fernando, I like you. You're very nice. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, James. I appreciate it. That's
No
lovely.
worries. Well, I'll send you the it's a code that you type into Amazon, and that'll give you the gift card.
Thank you.
All
That's a
right.
lovely little bonus for today. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Thank
from
you.
Quest. They were thank you to them for sponsoring us. Cool.
Thank you, Gwen.
Does anyone have any other questions, or should we release Laura to have a big sigh of breath? And
Yes, great. I was trying my best to take breaths throughout that, but sometimes I just get into a rumble.
yeah, it's always hard, isn't it? Because you're excited but also nervous, so you always feel a bit breathless at the end. So, have a good day, everyone.
Bye,
You
everyone.
too.
Thanks.
Bye bye.